My business is in the billion-dollar range in terms of oil reserves.
How many people work for you?
About 300-400 in the fields.
Detroit, Michigan. Go ahead, please.
Good morning, Brian. Thanks for taking my call, and I'd like to thank Mr. Tamraz for his straightforward testimony in front of the committee, of which I watched all. I would like to make a comment on it and get Mr. Tamraz's reaction. It appears to me that the DNC and even the president, when he accepted Mr. Tamraz's card, was acting as a procurer for accessibility to our government. Please comment on that, sir.
First, I didn't give my card to the president. I gave it to McClarty, and all that was requested there is a hearing. I think we're in a country of free speech. I think we're allowed to say our opinion. I started 3 years before trying to work through the government. The bureaucrats blocked me. It's their privilege. They have an opinion. Thank God, in socialist systems, you would have been blocked there. In our system, you have a way of appealing, which is go directly to the political process or through the press. And this is what I did because I felt very strongly about American security in the area. But what was at stake was oil security coming out of the Caspian.
Manitowoc, Wisconsin, you're next.
Hello.
You're on the air.
Mr. Tamraz, I thought you knocked the senators right off their chair the other day. Can I ask you, are you a Democrat or Republican, though?
Well, actually, I'm a Democrat, but I feel that on foreign policy we should have a bipartisan position. That's why I've also helped Republicans, because I think that it's a bipartisan position, overseas security, problems with fundamentalism, and issues which I'm interested in.
Did you donate to the Republicans the last time, too?
I donated for the Republicans only during the Reagan era because I felt President Reagan had the right approach to dismantle the Soviet Union.
I thought you were grand smash, though. Next time, please send me $100,000. I'd love it.
Newport, Rhode Island. You're next. Go ahead, please.
Good morning, Brian.
Morning.
3 quick questions. Has any of the campaign money that has been cited as being returned been received by Mr. Tamraz? 2, have you ever been asked this question before? And 3, specifically, has my Congressman Patrick Kennedy from Rhode Island returned $2,000 to you?
Yes, I have had money returned, which I'm very grateful for. Patrick Kennedy returned $2,000. And the Virginia Democratic Party returned $100,000.
What about the...
No, the rest has not been returned yet, but it may come.
And how much would they have to return to you if they gave it all back?
Another, maybe a couple of hundred.
Detroit, Michigan, you're next.
Hi, good morning.
Morning.
I just want to congratulate you, Mr. Tamraz, for being honest and straightforward and exposing to our American public the way that the politics work on both sides of the fence. And we need more people like you to speak out.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Next call, we go to Alton, Illinois, down south. Go ahead, please.
Hello. I think Mr. Tamraz answered my question, which was, had he ever received money from the Republicans?
No, had he ever given money to the Republicans?
Right.
Yes, I have.
Over time, how much has that been, do you know?
I don't remember specifically.
When did you meet with the President of the United States, Bill Clinton?
I met him in end of 95, September 95, all the way to June 97.
How many different meetings?
6.
And where were they held?
Always at the White House.
In the Oval Office?
No, it was the receptions.
So it wasn't one-on-one, just you and the President?
No, in fact, I never asked a one-on-one, which is something I could have done quite easily. There's a big fallacy there that I wanted a one-on-one. When some bureaucrats said they needed their approval for the President to see me one-on-one, that's a complete fallacy. If he did want to see me, he would have seen me without anyone's permission.
How many were in the room at any time that you met with him?
I think the coffee was the most intimate one, and there was at least 14 or 15 people in the room.
And was there any time where you had a genuine exchange between the two of you?
We had, during a dinner, standing before sitting, and there was always about 10 or 12 people surrounding us anyway.
Whatever happened to the pipeline?
The pipeline is still being negotiated.
Where?
It's in the Caucasus region. It's between the Caspian Sea and the Black Sea.
And are you still involved in that negotiation?
Yes, I am.
How many are there oil companies involved in it?
Yes, I would say there's about 3 or 4, not too many, who are trying to get a pipeline through. In fact, I went to the majors and I said, you know, I'll wait for your pipeline to move because, in fact, I'm not in the pipeline business. I'm just sitting on 1 billion barrels of reserves that I want to move. And basically they told me, Roger, we're having problems. If you can get it through, don't use our name, but if you have it, we'll use it.
Where are your reserves stored?
In the Caspian area.
Sulphur, Louisiana. You're next. Go ahead, please.
Yes, Brian. First of all, your show is always great. We're great watchers of yours.
Welcome.
But when it comes to campaign finance reform, I sort of laugh when I listen to Clinton and even some of the Republicans with their call for reform. I like to say it's sort of like a person praying to God, please stop me before I sin again. It's almost tongue-in-cheek. Or a serial killer say, please stop me before I kill again. I mean, they've broken laws, and they don't seem to want to take the responsibility. They want to put it someplace else.
Thanks. Comment on her comment?
Well, frankly, I don't think the law is all that bad. I think it's not the excess which is important, it's whether there's a quid pro quo. And I can guarantee you, from what I see from the industry, the frustration we have on something so important as a pipeline system that would benefit at least 25 oil companies, we're not able to get our policy heard all the time because we are blocked by a bunch of bureaucrats. And sometimes you need to go to higher up to get an arbitration position. But I don't see any quid pro quo. I haven't seen anything wrong in that system.
You were born in Cairo, Egypt, in what year?
In 1940.
How long did you live there?
I lived there till I was 20 when I finished the American University Cairo, where I learned about American politics for the first time.
Where did you go then?
Then I went to Cambridge, England for a year as a researcher. Then I went to Fontainebleau, finished up at the Harvard Business School in '66.
How long did you live in Lebanon?
I lived in Lebanon off and on during the years because when I joined Kidder Peabody in '67, they wanted to penetrate the Middle East, so I opened an office there. In '75, the war started. I wasn't part of that violence. I left Lebanon and I lived in the States since then. And after Amin Gemayel came back to power, he asked me to go back to see if we can settle the issues of the war, and I went for a few years.
How many different countries have you been a citizen of?
I've just been a citizen of Lebanon, which is my ancestors' place, and I also, as an Egyptian, being born there, I was also Egyptian, and I gave up my citizenship when I became an American.
What year?
In '89.
Let's go to Franklin, New Jersey next. Go ahead, please.
Good morning, Brian.
Hi.
Great show, and I thank you so much for what you do bringing the facts and the truth to the people.
Thanks for calling. What's your comment?
Brian, I'd like Mr. Tamraz to comment on the specific oil companies that are involved, and also the fact that when you talk about access, the American officials that were involved in